At this point in the game, we have already done our research, we have a product that we have chosen, and we even did some preliminary keyword research to get a better idea on how we can target visitors who want to find our product or service. Now that we have our keywords, we need an actual place for us to put them. In the previous module, you had a taste of what it's like for us to do search engine optimization. Once you have your keyword, you're going to need a place to put those keywords, and the first strategy that we're going to be using is to create a main landing page. Keep in mind, a landing page doesn't necessarily mean an entire website. In fact, the landing page itself is only one page of an entire website. In some cases, the entire website might only be one page. I'll get more into that in just a moment. What you should be understanding first is the concept of branding. Now, when we're branding ourselves or our company or our product, this is one of the most important things that you may want to do in order for you to plan a long-term type of business model. Don't get me wrong, you don't need to necessarily have your own product or your service. If you want to be an affiliate marketer, you can still create your brand. The concept of having a brand is quite simply to have your own identity online. For many internet marketers, they like to brand themselves. You can choose to brand yourself if you want to. However, you don't necessarily need to use your real name. You don't necessarily need to use your real face or a real picture. The cool thing about having an online brand is that you do have the option to create some kind of online identity for yourself. It can be a pen name, it can be a character. As long as it's something that will sooner or later identify you and what you have to offer, that can pretty much constitute as a brand. Now, one way to do this can be a personal brand. When it's a personal brand, most people like to use their name. The interesting thing about personal branding is that even though you might be using your own name or a fake name, it doesn't matter. Even though it is a name, there's no real product, service, niche, or market behind that name. For example, my name is my brand. But when you go to my website, it just so happens to have branded me as an internet entrepreneur, or a world-renowned keynote speaker, or a trainer, a consultant, a mentor, a coach. Many people use their name to brand themselves in whatever passion or niche that they decide that they want to do. So you don't necessarily have to have a final decision confirmed on what it is that you want to do. Even if you decide that you want to get into a certain market, it can always be changed later on. Some people might use their own name and they brand themselves as a fitness expert. Some people brand themselves as a legal consultant or a financial advisor or an investor or a real estate agent or even some type of celebrity, entertainer, singer, actor, actress. When you're using your own name as a brand, it is not correlated to any specific market or niche. So start there. Tony Robbins, for example, is a brand. Robert Kiyosaki is a brand. Donald Trump is also a brand. Yet they all each do different things, specialize in different things as well. And in the case of many people like Donald Trump or Arnold Schwarzenegger, they can go from celebrity to entertainer to politician and then back to wherever it is that they came from. So a personal brand using your own name can be used to identify you, to later on relate you to whatever it is that you want to do. Company can also be a brand. For example, Nike is a great brand. Reebok, Adidas, Samsonite, Samsung, Apple. All of these companies have a large variety of different products. In the end, it is also their brand. Or individual product-based can be a brand. Going with the example of Samsung, the Note series, like the Note 8 phone, or the tablet, or their TVs, each and every single one of those models are all products. And all of these brands, regardless if it's a product or a company or a personal brand, and all of these brands, regardless of whether it's a product or a company or personal branding, they can all be used as keywords that will ultimately be searched to find you on the internet. Now, one thing important to note is that once you find this branding, whatever it is, another secret strategy is for you to consistently use the same brand throughout the creation of all of your various sites as well as social media pages. For example, my personal brand, Simon Leung, you will find that not only on my own site at simonleung.com, but across many of my social media. You will also see that I have used consistently the exact same branding. Facebook.com/Simon Leung, Twitter.com/Simon Leung, MySpace.com/Simon Leung, YouTube.com/Simon Leung. You get the idea. The key here is to be as consistent as possible so that the search engines are able to pick up your branding anytime your particular brand is being searched in the search engines. Now, of course, any of these can be keyword based. For example, Internet Millionaire Secrets. Even though the branding is Internet Millionaire Secrets as the name of our program, the individual words themselves, Internet Millionaire Secrets, can also be a legitimate keyword that people may be searching on. Or you can also use a branded name, such as My Internet Events. As just talked about, we also want to make sure that when you have your brand, you want to use it not only as the name of your profile, of your page, of your account, but you also want to, if possible, if the social media account allows you to do that, you also want to use the same brand name inside the URL of the site itself. Just like what we talked about, Facebook.com/Simon Leung or Facebook.com/The Simon Leung, Instagram.com/The Simon Leung. And because having your keyword inside the URL is proven to be a powerful strategy, which is why we're putting them inside our social media account URLs, a major tip for you is if you have a long-term plan to brand yourself, your identity, your company, your product, and you want to make a big name for yourself later on down the road, plan ahead. Even though you don't necessarily need a website to get started, it is highly recommended that once you figure out what your brand is, you also want to eventually register a domain name based on the same branding that you have chosen. I, for example, have simonleung.com. I also have myinternetevents.com. If your domain name is available, definitely go ahead and register for it, even though you might not be building your website right off the bat, but planning ahead is always a very smart strategy, especially if you want to be more effective in your future branding endeavors. Next, after you have your brand, I want to introduce you to our simple landing page formula. In fact, if your intention is to use this internet marketing skill that you're going to be learning during this program to do affiliate marketing, then this is all you need. Not only is this a simple landing page formula, it's also what I call the one-page site. The site itself doesn't have to be elaborate whatsoever. In fact, using some of the free resources that I'll be sharing with you in just a moment, this will be perfectly capable and suitable for what we're going to be doing for the purpose of affiliate marketing. When you build your one-page site, the first thing that you want to have right there smack in the middle in big font, the first thing that people see is something called a headline. In the headline, we want to make sure that you have whatever it is that your branding might be. It could be a product name. It can be your personal name. It can be a company name. It's the first thing that people see. So the idea is for us to make sure that it attracts as much attention as possible. Once we get somebody to read that headline, We've attracted their attention. The next thing that we want them to read is our subheadline. This subheadline is designed to capture their interest. We want to list the features. We want to list different benefits. It can include more keywords if you want to, but the idea is that we want to capture their interest enough so that they will continue to read even more. The next thing that we want to put on this page, now we want to get into something that is a little bit more search engine friendly. By search engine friendly, we mean that this is something that Google, Yahoo, Bing, Baidu, and other of the top search engines are going to see highly as a criteria in order for us to eventually get long-term high rankings on the search engines. And that is multimedia. Now more than ever, the search engines want to see as much multimedia as possible. It can be an image. It can be a video. The beautiful thing about this is if you're doing affiliate marketing, you can take the images directly from the original affiliate site. You can take the video directly from the original affiliate site as well. Or you can also find some additional ones on youtube.com and embed it directly onto your one-page site. The point is, the images and the video doesn't have to be created by you. You can use other people's images as long as you are legitimately sharing this information on this page, sharing the content and not downloading it and uploading it again and claiming it to be as your own. If you want to have your own images or your own videos with your own full rights to use them and replicate them across the internet later on, I'll be sharing with you some royalty-free sites where you can actually use images and professional videos that were created by somebody else and you have 100% rights to use them for free. Back to this landing page. What we want to do is to make sure that we have some type of image or video. Not only is this appropriate for the search engines, but in fact, it will also continue to capture the attention and interest of your visitors. Next, optionally, you can add some additional text, description, benefit, features, and bullet points right underneath the image or the video itself. At this point in time, we want to make sure that we are hitting up the desire of all the different people who are looking at your site. Use this part of the page to explore why somebody might want to take the next step. And once you are able to convince them, what you want at the very bottom as the last thing that you offer them is a live link to your affiliate page. You want a link where you can actually put in text, click here to buy this product, click here to visit this site, click here to shop online. This is what we call a call to action. It's the last thing that you want people to see. It's also the last piece of content that will eventually convince somebody to click on that particular link, which will take them to your affiliate link, and ideally encouraging somebody to take that action that will constitute as a conversion for you. Just to give you an idea on what we mean by this particular simple landing page formula, here is a live example of a one-page site that I used to promote my Internet Millionaire Secrets program. At the very top, the first thing that people see is Internet Millionaire Secrets. That's the headline. In the subheadline, we say discover how to make multiple streams of automated passive online income. Then we have our video. As you scroll down, the last thing that people see is click here to register now at myinternetevents.com. And once people click on that particular link, they will be redirected to myinternetevents.com, where they will now see the full-blown sales letter that I have written in regards to my Internet Millionaire Secrets program. Complete with different testimonials, different bullet points and features and benefits and case studies and success stories, you name it. We go all out in order to make sure that this page ultimately converts, and at the very last part, or any other part for that matter, if they want to read more about what we can do or watch some live video testimonials, they can click on play on any one of these YouTube videos that I have embedded on my sites. At the same time, if they want to take the next step, all they need to do is click on any one of these links and it will take them to a live registration link. The point here is that in order for us to drive traffic to this particular website, we used this particular one-page site, the exact same formula that I just showed you. We made it simple, we made it easy, we made it short and to the point. This is the type of site which will attract people to click on a link to take them to the main site that we ultimately want to take them to. Even though I'm using this to drive traffic back to my own site, to myinternetevents.com, nothing is stopping you from actually using this as an affiliate marketing promotional tool. You can put your affiliate link right here and drive traffic to your particular affiliate promotions. Whatever site, business, product, service that you want to drive traffic to and get more sales, that's what's going to dictate the actual link that you are going to actually be creating right here. So going back to our main landing page tips, as we mentioned, we want to make sure that we keep it as simple as possible. Keep in mind, in this particular step, all we're doing is we're creating this one-page website. We're only creating this landing page. We're not trying to build a full-blown website with hundreds of different articles or dozens and dozens of different blog entries. Those type of sites are the kind that will eventually drive a lot of traffic to a particular page. In this particular example, we're ultimately going to want to drive traffic to this page as well. And it is the job of this particular page to ultimately send traffic directly to our affiliate promotions. So for this particular landing page, keep it short and to the point, and above all, stick to the formula itself. You don't want to have any distractions if possible. You don't want to have other promotions, other links, or even ads being displayed on your particular page. Remember what we said earlier in an earlier module. A confused mind never buys. So we don't want to have too many distractions for people to lose focus. We want them to actually focus on the task at hand. We have a specific call to action that we want them to take. We want them to click on our link, and so that's the only call to action that we want on our one-page sites, the only place that they can click on, which will result in them leaving our site, and that's at our call to action click. If you want ideas on what to put on your site, use the original merchant site, the affiliate owner site, for ideas. Use it as a reference. We talked about using images and videos from those sites. You can do that. You can also try and find to see any additional usable content that you might be able to find. Remember, these one-page sites, we only want to promote one product only. Later on, if you decide that you want to build multiple pages, full-blown sites, you can do that, but not until you reach a little bit more of an advanced level. But once you're there, you can go ahead and create multiple pages that can be created to talk about other topics or to promote even more products. An even more advanced way is to start building a list of email subscribers so that you can do email marketing at a later time. If you're ready for that and you want to get started, in our resources section, we will show you some recommendations on some top autoresponder services that you can use. But let's say that you are just starting out, you're just a beginner and you want to start for free, you can still do that using a free tool called Google Forms. It won't allow you to automate your business. It won't allow you to automatically send out emails. However, it will still be able to collect names and email addresses for you, which at this point in time is our current goal. But again, you don't have to worry about this if you're not there yet. This is a much more advanced method that we can get into at a later time. For now, your main takeaway about this main landing page, this one-page site, is that we want to make sure that in order for us to maximize the results that we're eventually going to get as a result of building the site, we also want to understand the very, very basic of search engine optimization, otherwise known as SEO. I'll be talking about these next, so make sure that you keep these methods in mind. A quick introduction to the world of search engine optimization. After somebody does a Google search, the next page that people see is a page that we call search engine results page, otherwise known as SERP. For most search engine result pages, such as the one that you would see on Google, in many cases, you might see certain results on the top as well as on the right-hand side of the actual search engine results page. In this particular example, the top and on the right-hand side, these are the Google AdWords ads. For the purpose of this program, we're not going to be talking about Google Ads. Instead, we want to focus on the free organic listings that you will see on the left-hand side, as well as when you continue to scroll down the page. So the big question is, how do you actually get your websites to rank well? Well, isn't this the multi-million-dollar question? Everybody wants to rank well. Everybody wants to be found on Google.com. And yes, while there are many strategies for you to go ahead and make that happen, there are a lot of even traditional methods that people use in which they will tell their students to expect the results within a few weeks, maybe even a few months or even longer. In this program, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can expedite that process. Now, first and foremost, what I want you to understand about how the Google system works is that most of the time, they are always going to give the most advantage to websites that you actually own. And by that, I mean non-social media sites, non-free platforms, not video sites or any other similar marketplaces. Instead, what Google prefers is for you to have your own website, registered with your own domain name, using your own web hosting service. If you don't have one, or if you're not ready to register your own domain name and build your own websites, don't worry, because the second best strategy is to use services that are owned or thought highly of by Google. The reason why we say that you should be using services, number one, that are owned by Google is because, believe it or not, Google is Google's number one fan. They like themselves the most. So if you use a product, a service, a platform that is owned by Google, for example, Google Sites that we just talked about, for example, Blogger and YouTube, Google is going to think highly of your particular property. On the same note, there are some other resources and platforms and marketplaces that Google also considers to be high quality. This includes the social media sites, many of which we have already talked about, like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even Pinterest, LinkedIn, and any of the other popular sites that millions and millions and millions of people use. The idea here is, if you have an actual profile or an account where you legitimately and create your profiles the right way in the formula that we're going to be explaining to you in this program, then you will basically have a high chance of each and every single one of those properties actually taking up a spot on Google.com, which will allow you to get multiple Google rankings. Now, the first strategy that we talked about earlier is the concept of choosing your keywords. Once we have our keywords, we can now apply this into our actual website, which is going to be your very first lesson on search engine optimization. In the SEO world, we call this on-page search engine optimization, and that's because everything that we do, every placement of the keyword, for example, they are done on the actual website page itself. Now, if you recall previously, we talked about how on every single search result page, if you take a look at a website listing, every single part of that listing is actually something that we would need to be mindful of. It's all parts of our on-page optimization strategy. The first part is called the title. As we mentioned before, this is a place where we want to put the main keyword that we're trying to target. It may also be known as your website name. In addition, that same keyword or similar phrases should also be put in the URL of the actual link of your website. Finally, one of the last things that people see on the search result is a brief description of your website. In this area is also where you want to include those keywords or other similar phrases again if possible. To give you an idea on how this looks like, this is on-page SEO in terms of keyword placements. On a search for my name, you might see something like this on page 1, number 1, and that's because we have optimized this on an on-page standpoint to the maximum. The title, which is the first line as we talked about before, it includes my name, which is the main keyword that we're trying to optimize for in this particular example. The website URL also has my name right here, simonliang.com. If your particular domain name is different, but you want to insert your keyword inside that URL, you can do that as well. For example, in the inner pages, you will see in our next results, we have simonliang.com/blog as well as simonliang.com/about. If you have a specific keyword that you're trying to target, you can replace where it says blog or about with that particular keyword. Finally, in the description area, you will also see my name appear another time. Simon Liang is an award-winning internet entrepreneur, international keynote speaker, internet marketing trainer, author, consultant, coach, and mentor. If you have your own domain name and your own website, in many cases, you will have a lot more flexibility in terms of what you want to put inside description. On the other hand, if you're going to be using a free platform like Google Sites, what's going to show up in this description area is going to be whatever shows up first in the beginning of the content of the page itself. So, if you want to make sure that your keyword appears in the description, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have those keywords at the very beginning of your written content of your one-page site. So your first exercise of this module is to create your one-page website. Remember what we said earlier, Google is Google's #1 fan. And because Google also has their own free website creation tool, it is a good idea for you to use this. By using this tool, it's also one of the most simple and user-friendly ways for building one-page websites. If we want to see some additional examples, here is one that we have built on how to learn sign language. The title, which is the first thing that people see, is right here. We named it How to Learn American Sign Language. In addition, our keyword is right here, How to Learn American Sign Language Online. This is in the headline. In the subheadline, we have discover how to do American Sign Language in only minutes a day with video lessons online. We have the image or the video right here. As we scroll down, we have the optional section, 100% free test drive, instant 24/7 lifetime access online, no credit card required, zero obligation. The last thing that people see, click here to master sign language online. The moment that they click on this, it will redirect them to my ClickBank affiliate URL. As you can see, I am promoting a Rocket Languages sign language course. The web page is already created. The graphics are done. Everything that we need in order to maximize the conversions, even with a free trial offer, is already integrated inside this particular offer page. The only thing that I did was drive traffic to it. Now, it is the job of this particular website to make sure that they close the sale. I don't have to worry about it. Everything will be done by the site. As soon as somebody makes a purchase, I make the commission. Another example, if let's say I go back up here and we want to see how to improve your judo game. The title is up here, how to improve your overall judo game. In the headline, how to improve your overall judo game is also a keyword that people will be searching on. The subheadline, with workouts for judo, you will become fitter, faster, stronger, and more agile fast. Get an edge over any guy in your weight division. Guess what? This right here, copied and pasted directly from the website itself. The image over here, also taken directly from the site. All these bullet points, also taken directly from the website itself. And as soon as somebody goes all the way down here and click on where it says click here to improve your judo game, they will again get redirected to my affiliate link, where if they make a purchase, I will get the commissions. So for this exercise, what I want you to do is to create your very own Google site. Keep in mind, as you are creating your one-page site, all the different on-page optimization strategies. Make sure that you're putting the main keyword or your brand in the actual title. You also want to include the keyword itself as well as similar phrases in the URL. When you're using Google Sites, you might not have the option to write a brief custom description. However, Google Search is going to show the first several words of the page if the description option is not available. And then finally, at the very end, make sure that you have a strong call to action phrase, which ideally should also include your keyword. So all you need to do in order for you to start this exercise is to go to site.google.com. By default, you will see this particular page where you can click on the create button to create the old style type of Google site. If you're using Google Chrome, you might see another option over here that says new Google Sites. Click on where it says new Google Sites and you will be redirected to the new version of Google Sites where you can now create using the new themes and other things that they might have. So really quickly, let's go through an example of how we would create a site like this. Go down here to where it says create new sites. You can enter in the site name over here, which is also the title. So for this particular example, we might want to say something like Internet Millionaire Secrets Private Online Course. Your page title can be something similar. Internet Millionaire Secrets Private Online Course. If we want to add a subheadline, your option of doing that is right here where it says insert a text box. Click on that and as easy as pie, you will now be able to insert even more text. Discover how to create multiple streams of income from the comfort of your own home. Now keep in mind, this is the subheadline, which means that we want it to be in subheadline formatting. The cool thing about Google Sites is that it allows you to customize the look and feel of any type of text that you put in. So first and foremost, we put this in the center. Instead of keeping this as normal text, we can change this to title to make it bigger. Optionally, you can also use heading or subheading. You can basically see what the difference is in terms of size immediately right after you choose the appropriate option. So we're going to go back to choosing title because it looks the best. Next, we might want to insert either an image if we have one, or if you want to upload a brand new image, you can also do that as well. Optionally, you can also directly embed a video from YouTube. So let's go ahead and click on YouTube to see what we can find on there. So if, for example, let's say we want to type in internet millionaire secrets with, I don't know, my internet events. Let's see what comes up. Of course, one of our videos. If we want, we can go ahead and choose which video that we want to insert. Let's say that I want to insert this first one. Go ahead and choose it by clicking on it and then clicking on select. It will now automatically be inserted into our page, and you can of course resize it to whatever size that you want it to be. Finally, for the purpose of this example, let's say that we want to end it with a call to action. Click here to learn more about the Internet Millionaire Secrets private online course. We highlight this, center it, change the text to heading now, and because we want to send people to a different page, what we want to do is to click on this insert link icon, and now we can type in the link that we want to send the traffic to. In this case, myinternetevents.com. Click on apply, and that's it. Anytime somebody clicks on this, they will be taken to whatever page that we want to take them to. Once you're ready to publish this site, you can do so by clicking on the publish button. As soon as you do that, you will be prompted to customize your URL. Now the thing with Google Sites is that they have a character limitation to how many characters are allowed in the actual URL itself. In this example, what they try to do is automatically place the keyword that I have set in the title into the URL. However, what happened here is that the title is too long and the keyword cut off at PRI in private. No worries, in this example, all we need to do is delete this. We can customize this however we want by adding dashes or something else, adding numbers. If a particular URL is available, you will see this check mark right here that is indicating that we can use this particular URL. Another setting that you want to take a look at is search settings right here. By default, it is already unchecked. You want to keep it unchecked because if you check this, you're basically telling Google that you're requesting public search engines to not display your site. In other words, your site isn't gonna be searchable people won't be able to find your site on Google. And of course, we don't want that. So again, keep this unchecked. When we're done with our settings, click on Publish. And depending how fast your internet connection is, your site will be published successfully almost instantaneously. If we want to view the site, go ahead and click on the down arrow and select where it says View Published Site. Once you click on that, your page will load. As you can see, this is the page that we have just created. Internet Millionaire Secrets Private Online Course. Discover how to create multiple streams of income from the comfort of your own home. At the bottom, after the video, we have the option for them to click here to learn more about Internet Millionaire Secrets Private Online Course. And once somebody actually clicks on that, it will again redirect them to what we indicated to Google, which is myinternetevents.com. So in the next few moments, go ahead and do that as part of your exercise.